The Industrial Revolution, the transformation that changed the world. Few periods in human history have altered everyday life as dramatically as the Industrial Revolution. Beginning in Britain during the late 18th century and spreading across Europe, North America, and eventually much of the world, this era transformed how people worked, traveled, communicated, and lived. What started as a series of technological innovations soon became a social and economic revolution that reshaped the modern world. Before the Industrial Revolution, most people lived in rural communities and worked in agriculture. Goods such as clothing, tools, and household items were typically produced by hand in small workshops or homes. Production was slow, and transportation networks were limited. The economy depended largely on manual labor, and opportunities for rapid economic growth were relatively scarce. Britain was uniquely positioned to become the birthplace of industrialization. Several factors contributed to this development. The country possessed abundant coal and iron resources, which were essential for manufacturing and machinery. It also had a growing population, a stable political system, and a vast colonial network that provided both raw materials and markets for finished products. Furthermore, advances in agriculture had increased food production, allowing fewer people to work on farms and enabling more workers to move into emerging industries. One of the most significant innovations of the era was the steam engine. Although earlier versions existed, Scottish engineer James Watt greatly improved the technology during the 1760s and 1770s. His more efficient steam engine could power machines in factories, mines, and transportation systems. Steam power reduced reliance on human and animal labor and dramatically increased productivity. The textile industry became one of the first sectors to experience industrial transformation. Inventions such as the spinning jenny, the water frame, and the power loom allowed manufacturers to produce cloth far more quickly than ever before. Large factories emerged, concentrating workers and machinery in a single location. This factory system fundamentally changed the nature of work. Instead of producing goods at home, many people now worked fixed hours in industrial workplaces. The Industrial Revolution also transformed transportation. The development of steam-powered locomotives and railways made it possible to move goods and people across long distances at unprecedented speeds. Rail networks connected cities, reduced transportation costs, and encouraged trade. Similarly, steamships improved international commerce by making sea travel more reliable and efficient. As industries expanded, cities grew rapidly. Millions of people migrated from rural areas in search of employment opportunities. Urban centers such as Manchester, Birmingham, and Liverpool became symbols of industrial progress. However, this rapid urbanization also created serious challenges. Overcrowded housing, poor sanitation, pollution, and unsafe working conditions affected many workers and their families. Factory labor was often demanding and dangerous. Employees frequently worked long hours for low wages. Children were commonly employed in factories and mines, where they faced hazardous conditions. These social problems gradually led to calls for reform. During the 19th century, governments introduced laws to improve workplace safety, regulate child labor, and provide better living conditions for urban populations. Despite its difficulties, the Industrial Revolution generated remarkable economic growth. Mass production lowered the cost of many goods, making products more accessible to ordinary people. New industries created wealth and stimulated technological innovation. Banking systems expanded, global trade increased, and nations that industrialized gained significant economic and political influence. The revolution also encouraged scientific and technological progress. Engineers, inventors, and entrepreneurs continuously sought ways to improve efficiency and productivity. Innovations in communication, such as the telegraph, allowed information to travel faster than ever before. These developments laid the foundation for the interconnected world we know today. Historians often describe the Industrial Revolution as a turning point comparable to the Agricultural Revolution thousands of years earlier. Both events fundamentally altered the relationship between humans and their environment. While agriculture enabled permanent settlements and the rise of civilization, industrialization introduced mechanized production and modern economic systems. The legacy of the Industrial Revolution remains visible everywhere. Modern factories, transportation networks, urban centers, and global supply chains all trace their origins to this transformative period. At the same time, many contemporary challenges, including environmental concerns, labor rights debates, and questions about technological change, can be linked to developments that began during the Industrial Age. Today, as societies navigate the rise of artificial intelligence and advanced automation, comparisons are often drawn between our era and the Industrial Revolution. Both periods involve groundbreaking technologies that reshape economies and societies. Understanding the Industrial Revolution, therefore, provides valuable insight not only into the past but also into the future. It reminds us that technological progress can create extraordinary opportunities while also presenting significant social challenges that require careful management and thoughtful solutions.